Dear viewers, December 2nd, 2025, the day of the first phase of Maharashtra's local body polls, had everything you should never witness in a functioning democracy. A man being dragged out of a booth in Buldhana for trying to vote under someone else's name. A woman in Shirdi arguing with officials because her vote was already cast by a stranger. A gun flashing in Mahad, not at a crime scene but outside a polling station. And then comes the moment that defines the day. Shiv Sena Shinde MLA Santosh Bangar walking into a polling booth in Hingoli as if he owns it, entering the voting compartment while a woman is mid-vote, peeking into her ballot, showing her his party symbol, talking, shouting slogans, filming the entire thing. All of this inside the booth. What happened on December 2nd wasn't polling, it was a stress test for Maharashtra's democracy, and the system cracked at every joint. Hello, I'm Tejas and you're watching Honest Take on Lokmat Times. In this video, we are going to show the ground reality of the first phase of local body polls in Maharashtra. But before we begin, please do subscribe to Lokmat Times if you haven't already and press the bell icon to never miss an update. The Bazaar area booth in Hingoli's Karamnuri is where the biggest red flag appeared. A voter walks in for a private ballot. Instead, she finds an MLA beside her. Shiv Sena Shinde faction MLA Santosh Bangar. The viral video shows entry into the restricted booth enclosure, interference while the voter is casting her vote, display of party symbol, use of mobile phone, political slogans inside the booth. Every one of these actions violates basic election rules. To add context, a member of Bangar's own family was contesting this election. So this wasn't a generic breach, it was direct interference tied to a personal stake. Even the Chief Minister acknowledged the seriousness, saying elected representatives must set an example. Yet, the official response was, video is incomplete, we will review. An FIR was filed, but the gap between filing and real action in such cases is something Maharashtra has seen many times before. Shift to Buldhana, where the scale of bogus voting exposed something far more organized. At Gandhi Primary School, Ward number 15, a man attempted to vote as Vaibhav Deshmukh. The real Vaibhav lives in another taluka altogether. When officials dug deeper, they found this wasn't a lone attempt. Vehicles carrying voters from Kotli and Ibrahimpur, multiple batches arriving through coordinated transport, Congress alleging 2 full vehicle loads prepared for bogus voting, names of Shiv Sena candidates surfacing in complaints. This was not an opportunistic fraud, it was a setup. An allegation followed that Kunal Gaikwad, son of MLA Sanjay Gaikwad, helped a bogus voter flee from authorities. Opposition demanded an inquiry. 2 individuals were caught red-handed, but if 2 were caught, it raises an obvious question. How many succeeded without detection? It wasn't limited to that. In Solapur's Barshi, a man allegedly used a forged Aadhaar card to vote. MLA Dilip Sopal had to file a police complaint. In Shirdi, Shobha Shinde reached the booth only to hear her vote had already been cast. MP Bhausaheb Vaksaure intervened demanding answers. This points to 2 issues: a flawed electoral roll and individuals exploiting those flaws. Bogus voting was one part, the next part was cash, moving freely across districts. Mazalgaon beat ₹6 lakh seized from an SUV. On the last evening of the campaigning, EC officials intercepted a vehicle carrying ₹6 lakh. The allegation, the cash was meant for voters. The municipal chief officer said the owner had been asked to furnish accounting details, which hardly changes what the cash was likely meant for. Khamgaon, Buldhana, cash plus dummy ballot papers, one of the most revealing seizures. The EC's flying squad recovered ₹50,000 in cash, dummy ballot papers of a BJP candidate, men fleeing when the squad arrived. Cash indicates bribery, dummy ballots indicate structured influence. Together, they show a planned operation. Badlapur and Mathiran, more unexplained cash. Police squad seized cash from 2 locations in Thane district. Both cases showed the same pattern. Unexplained money moving on polling day. There are many other viral videos across Maharashtra that Marathi channels captured. Cash distributed on roadside in Chandrapur, 2-wheelers carrying bundles of notes wrapped with political pamphlets, midnight distribution in Beed Spate area, long queues of people quietly taking envelopes. No fear, no secrecy. These weren't stray violations, they looked like a parallel campaign structure. If cash moved quietly, violence did not. It unfolded in full view. And surprisingly, the worst clashes did not happen between rival parties, but within the ruling alliance. Mahad, Raigad, a gun at polling booth center. Supporters of Minister Bharat Gogavle's son clashed with supporters of NCP's Sushant Zabre. Witnesses report, A person brandishing a revolver, vehicles damaged, workers beaten. A firearm appearing near a polling station is one of the gravest security failures possible, and it happened in a district under ruling alliance control. Gevrai bead, stone pelting and lathi charge. Two groups, both Mahayuti allies, fought near a senior BJP leader's home. Stones were thrown, vehicles damaged, shops hit, and police had to lathi charge to break down the crowd. Jat Sangli, BJP workers clashed with police. Workers confronted polling officers and police, escalating into a physical clash. If the election staff themselves face intimidation, the process collapses. There were other places with violence. Bhor in Pune, Maswad in Satara, Dahanu in Thane, Shahada in Nandurbar. Violence across 10 plus districts is not coincidence. It's a pattern. After everything that happened, bogus voting, cash trails, weapons, clashes, booth intrusions, one thing stands out. This election did not malfunction. It functioned exactly the way powerful people wanted it to. Local body elections may look small, but the money and control they offer are huge. That's why the fights get dirtier at this level than most people imagine. Those managing the process no longer fear consequences. If they did, none of the incidents you saw would have happened with such confidence, cameras rolling, crowds watching. The problem isn't voter turnout. The problem is whether the vote cast actually belongs to the voter who showed up. Maharashtra did not just have a contested election. It had an election where the basic rules bent in real time, inside booths, outside booths, and across districts. The real question is, will anything change before the next phase and the final results? Or will Maharashtra watch the same scenes repeat with just new faces and new envelopes? Because if this is how grassroots elections are conducted, the danger isn't who wins or loses. The danger is that the process itself stops mattering. This was your honest take with me, Tejas. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and never stop asking tough questions.